Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video in this channel, and we're going to continue with the Kufi Kairouani script. And today's lesson we're going to learn letters Fa, Qaf, Qaf and Lam. Now just a quick talk about the latest, the previous lesson, which is the letter Ain. The letter Ain in the middle, you have to keep an eye on this thing. So when we talked about it last time, I stopped with one edge on the right. Actually, it has two edges. So here you've got the 2.5 points of height, and you've got 2.5 points of width. So when you do the letter, you actually have to choose, as we said, this part, the 1 point from the lower edge, and you would go back with the first move. Then you would actually do another move down here, which will be like going down like this, and you would color this part, so it will have this W shape down below, and then you would continue it with the arc on top of it. Finally you would color it. So this is just a quick recall up with regards to the previous lesson. This is how it looks like in the middle. Now, for today's letters, we're going to start with the letter Fa and Qaf. And for those two, the singular shape of them is the following. We've got 3.5 points of height. And we've got 3 points of width. This is the head of the Fa. And for this one, we're gonna choose some of these points to outline our movement. So we're gonna take the first point from here, and we're gonna take 2 points from this side. So for example, if you took this part and you dropped 2 points, or 3 points, let's say, and you took the first two along with this part, this is where the letter sort of stops with regards to the upper left edge of the letter. So when you write the first move, yes, it is coming from here, you're going down, just like this. But then you've got the second move coming from here, and to decide where this move stops or starts, it's the 2 points by 3 from here. And this will go like this way. So you've got the first move going down here, you've got a curve here, don't forget about that. Then you've got the width of the Fa, which is 5.5. Again, you would add a small nudge up here at the end. Finally, you would go back with this third letter, which is quite sharp. And you would connect these two, and you would choose the middle part of the Fa to add your opening inside. So it is easy, it's not that hard, it's just about choosing finding the right dimension. So it is 1 point from this side and 2 points from this side, and this is where you get this shape. Because the letter Qaf, on the other hand, is a bit different because it's bigger. So the letter Qaf, again, 3.5 points of height, the same thing. And with the width, it's 3 points also. And here where things get a bit, they change. So the first move is the same thing. It's 1 point away from the edge, nothing new here. But the second move is the one that, the second point, this point, is the one that is different. So instead of taking 2 from the top, you would select the midpoint here. So it could be like the half of 3.5. So it is tricky. It's not 2, it's 1.75, something like that. And this would be your line, basically. So you would start from here, you would go down, and around the 1 point here, you would start curving back. So you just go down, touch the line here, and start curving back. And this will continue like going below the line. So we're going to come to this in a bit. which will have to drop 4.5 points below the line, as you can see here. And it will be like 4 points to the left. So don't worry about it, it's just naturally happens when you write. So this is the first move, and you could keep going down just like this. You could stop here if you want to. This is the lower part. The second part here will join this move, but the curvature will come below the line here. This one was above the line, this one will be below the line. So you'd go back like this with a straight line, and you would curve and you would join these two. Finally, if you want to do this move, you would use this outline and you would go perpendicular to this move basically. And you would use the full thickness of the pen, then rotate the pen in order for it to curve and become smaller, just like what we discussed in the letter scene. Because the cup of the Qaf, the Sad, sorry, I didn't notice that, I've been explaining outside the camera. The cups for the Qaf, the Sin, the Sad, those letters are Noon's cup, so when we come to the letter Noon, you will find that it's the same thing. So this is the general shape of the letter Qaf. Finally, you would add your opening inside and color this part. So as you can see, the Qaf looks bigger because it goes below the line, and this part is a bit you can see the difference in angle because this one is lifted up a bit, meanwhile this one is properly sort of dropped down. Now these are the shapes for them when they are alone, or like when they are singular, or at the end of the word. So when they connect, they will connect from the right, and this is how they look like at the end of the word. In the middle, they change shape into this thing. So this is also something you have to focus on for a bit. You've got your baseline from here. Start with this line, and on top of this line, you're going to add 3 points. This is your first point of scale. Then you're going to add 2.5 for the width, as you can see here. And on the left, you're going to add the same 3 points you've got on the right. It's just to show you something. You would take the first point here, mark this point, and you would take the first point from here, and you would connect these two. This is basically the thing. You need to take the first point with the first point, and this is where the first move starts. You're going to use your pen, start from here. You're going to move down, and you have to move in a direction that will give you 1 point away from this side. You go down below the line and you stop here, just like this. This is the first move, going down to the right. The second one would be taking the first dot from below here and moving from here and touching and rotating back. So this is like going down, then rotating, just like we did for the Ba and those letters. Then you would continue with this move to close these on top and to close these on each other, and here you've got this neck, so this neck should appear. Finally, you would go back, color this angle, and put your opening inside, then color the whole thing. So when you write this letter, you keep moving to the left, you stop here, then you come back, you go down with 1 point of distance. Now, as you can see here, the cut of the pen is different from the angle that we've got here. It's normal, because eventually you will have to color this, just like this. Then you would come back, rotate the pen, stop here, close this, close that into a square shape, then color the whole thing into this shape. You kind of find this shape also in the middle sometimes for the Fa and the Qaf. Now we add the neck here to distinguish it from a meme. So when we look into the meme later, in the next few classes, we will find that the meme sort of shuts on the line itself. It's stuck to the line. So for the Qaf and the Fa, we have to bring them up a bit. So this is the Fa and Qaf in the middle, beginning, end, all cases. Next we're going to look at letter Kaf. For letter Kaf, it's the same thing as the letter Ta. So you're gonna have half a point, then add 5 points, then half a point. And this makes it easier for us to basically start and finish the letters. Then we're gonna get back from this point, which is 1 point from the end. This is where we're gonna start our letter. We go to the right, we stop at the half a point, then we go down for 1 point, which will give us this distance to the half points, the end of the half point. Then we come back and we stop at the end here, at this end. And then we've got the same rules as the Ta. The only difference is that this opening is open in the Kaf, of course. So again, you're going to go back for 1, 1, 2, 3, and here you've got your 4 points of height, and you're going to basically do your Kaf. Now this height, yep, it's up here, and this will go back to here. Now there's another shape for it which goes back more than this, so that one goes back a proper 3 points, like it will actually reach to this point. So that one, you would start from here and it will be, let's say, more vertical than the first one. So you stop here and you would drag your letter 3 points from this side, and this is where the move starts. It's the same height, but the difference here is that you're gonna curve it to the right, curve it to the left, and curve it to the right slightly. So here you've seen it, it was really sharp, simple. Here, no, it is different because you need some curvature for it to neatly join with this move. So for this one, what you're gonna do is curve right, then left, then right, just like this. The curves are elegant, they aren't like sharp nor long. Like you've got the curve here, then a straight line, then another curve here. This is the Kaf singular, so in the middle would be the same thing, and at the end it will be the same thing too. So it is an easy letter, but you have to practice it in order to get the angles and the lines straight for it to look decent. Then we've got the letter Lam, and for Lam it is basically just like an Alif. It is 5.5 points of height, the general height of the text that we've got here, but then you've got 1.5 points of drop, just like the Ra, for example, and the Waw. So this is the maximum drop for normal letters. Then what you will do is basically go all the way down to here. Once you reach here, you would curve this end, as you can see. You would add your 2 points of width, and you would stop here with a nice nudge at the end here. So this is your singular Lam. When it connects, you stop here, you do your Lam, and you add this move, the one that we added for the Alif, but it's a Lam, so it is the same thing, but you've got the drop down here. And when it comes in the middle, again, it is also added just like this. So if you had a word like alaq, you would have your ayn here, coming down to your lam. Then your qaf would come back here, just like this. This will stop here, and this will curve. So this would be the word alaq. This seems to be a bit shorter, so because it's 2.5 points, this one is really high. This is with regards to the middle lam, this is the end lam, this is the lam by itself. and the lam at the beginning, I mean, it's the difference between this and the previous one. So if you had an alif, the lam next to an alif will become shorter to keep this angle. So let's say al-falaq. قل أعوذ برب الفلق. So for the fa, I'm gonna go down and start. I'm gonna use the same thing for the right side. Just like this. Close this on this, color it. You've got a lam here, so we're going to use the high one. And this height is 2 points for those who forgot about it, because it's the same as the alif one. And again, with regards to the qaf, you're going to use the same shape. Now there's another sort of shape for this part, which is going curvy like this, if you want. Instead of having it straight like this one, it could be curvy. So it's your choice basically. Stopping here, going back, stopping here, and coloring this part. Again, I try and make the videos short, so that's why I write really quickly. So here we've got al-falaq. The dots, yeah, you could have them like bigger than this, but I put them small. You could also have this like with an angle, or like you could have them like these, or ghallaq. We've got also falak if you want to practice the qaf. For the fa, as we said, we've got this shape. Then I've got the other one that goes back. Then we have a lam. I know that I left the fa''s opening sort of rectangular. We've got our qaf. And here you've got the choice of making it this shape or the other one. You've got falak. Now you could use kul, qaf. Oh, this is really high. Qaf. And I'm going to use this qaf, this top for this qaf. So, and finally you've got your lam going down and closing here. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. This is for this video. We've got fa, qaf, qaf, lam. Next one we will continue with the mim, noon and ha. These are examples for you to practice. And yeah, I hope you benefited from it. Like, share and subscribe to the channel to learn more about Arabic calligraphy. And this is Arabian Calligraphy. I hope you have a lovely day, evening or night. Goodbye.